types of bonds in human body. According to shape, bonds in human body are classified into 5: long bonds, short bonds, flat bonds, irregular bonds, and sesamoid bonds. Long bonds. A long bond is one that is cylindrical in shape. The term describes the shape of a bond. Its length is higher than its width. They consist of a long shaft with two bulky ends or extremities. They are primarily compact bond, but may have a large amount of spongy bond at the ends or extremities. Long bonds function as rigid bars that move when muscles contract. A long bond has two parts, the diaphysis and epiphysis. The wider section at each end of the bond is called the epiphysis, which is filled with spongy bond. Red bone marrow fills the spaces in the spongy bond. The diaphysis is the tubular shaft that runs between the proximal and distal ends of the bone. The hollow region in the diaphysis is called the medullary cavity, which is filled with soft spongy tissue called yellow bone marrow. The walls of the diaphysis are composed of dense and hard compact bone. Lying inside the bone adjacent to the medullary cavity is a layer of bone cells called the endosteum. On the outside of bones, there is another layer of bone cells called periosteum. The periosteum contains blood vessels, nerves, and lymphatic vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to bone. Tendons and ligaments also attach to bones at the periosteum. The periosteum covers the entire outer surface except where the epiphyses meet other bones to form joints. In this region, the epiphyses are covered with articular cartilage, a thin layer of hyaline cartilage that reduces friction and acts as a shock absorber. Each epiphysis meets the diaphysis at the metaphysis, the narrow area that contains the epiphyseal plate, also called growth plate, and a layer of hyaline cartilage in a growing bone. Femur, tibia, fibula are some examples of long bonds. Short bonds. Short bonds are roughly cube-shaped with vertical and horizontal dimensions approximately equal. They primarily consist of cancellous or spongy bond, which is covered by a thin layer of compact bond. The spongy bond contains relatively large amount of red bone marrow. Short bonds include the carpals of the wrist and tarsals of ankle. Short bonds provide stability and support as well as some limited motion. Flat bonds. Flat bonds are thin, flattened and usually curved bonds. Most of the bones of the cranium are flat bonds. Flat bonds consist of a layer of spongy bonds, lined on either side by a layer of compact bond. The two layers of compact bond and the interior spongy bond work together to protect the internal organs. If the outer layer of a cranial bone fractures, the brain is still protected by the intact inner layer. Spongy bone inside flat bone is filled with red bone marrow. Bones of cranium, the scapulae, the sternum, and the ribs are flat bones. Flat bones serve as points of attachment for muscles and often protect internal organs. Irregular bonds. An irregular bond is one that does not have any easily characterized shape and therefore does not fit any other classification. They are primarily cancellous or spongy bond that is covered with a thin layer of compact bond. These bonds tend to have more complex shapes, like the vertebrae that support the spinal cord and protect it from compressive forces. Many bonds of the face, particularly the jaw bonds that contain teeth, are classified as irregular bonds. Sesamoid bonds. Sesamoid bonds are usually short or irregular bonds embedded in a tendon or muscle. The most obvious example for this is the patella or the kneecap, which sits within the patella tendon.